Hi everyone. Should I start or should I wait for some time? Admins, can you... I think we'll wait for some time. Hi. So admins, please let me know when I can start. Hi Charutai, so good to see you. You're always so encouraging. Thank you. So I think I will begin this last and final session of my live on Arogyam, the Health, Wellness and Beauty Festival organized by VPWN and Villeparle Club. And so I'm very grateful to team VPWN and Villeparle Club, especially Rasika, Shubhangi, Pooja, Shivani, Riddhi, for organizing such a great event and giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge with the community. So I have a lot of questions which I have got. So I will try to answer as many as I can, because in fact I'm very sure I will not be able to answer all of them. But I promise you that whoever has asked me questions on my personal chat, I will respond to their queries as and when I get the time. There might be some delay, but I promise you I will reply to you. So let me begin by giving you a tip of this session. Now I have seen people just go and buy any mouthwash and start using it. So please do not do that. Every person might require a different kind of mouthwash. First of all, everybody does not require a mouthwash. It's a myth. Everyone wants to just use a mouthwash to feel fresh or for whatever reason. But it is not necessary that you require a mouthwash. So let your dentist evaluate whether you actually require a mouthwash, because there are good bacteria as well as bad bacteria in the mouth, just as they are in the gut. In the gut, you all know that there is good bacteria and bad bacteria. So overuse of these mouthwashes which contain antibacterials is not good. Along with the bad bacteria, it can also harm the good bacteria in the mouth which are required. So even if you have to use an antibacterial mouthwash, your dentist will tell you which one to use and for how many days to use. If you use the same antibacterial mouthwash for a very long time, the bacteria in the mouth will develop resistance to it. So therefore, we recommend not using a particular type of antibacterial mouthwash for more than 2 weeks. You need to change it. So first of all, get yourself evaluated whether you require a mouthwash, and if so, which one. Some patients have a lot of sensitive teeth, so we recommend desensitizing mouthwashes for them. Some patients require, they have a lot of decay in the mouth, so sometimes we recommend fluoride mouthwashes or anti-cavity mouthwashes for them. Some patients have a lot of gum issues, gum disease, so for them a different kind of antibacterial mouthwashes are required. If you have just had a surgery, a gum surgery or a wisdom tooth surgery or any surgery in the mouth, then we might recommend some betadine mouthwashes for you. So everybody doesn't, there is no one mouthwash which suits everyone. Okay, so don't just pick up a mouthwash from the chemist because your husband is using it, or your mother-in-law, or your wife, or somebody else in the house is using it. Get yourself evaluated thoroughly whether you require one, and if so, which one, and the duration that you must use the mouthwash, and then only start using it. So that's the tip I want you all to take home today. Hi Rasika. Which mouthwash is good for general care for day-to-day use? There are many, Rasika, which you can use, but like I just said some time ago, maybe you joined in late. It's everybody does not require a mouthwash, and if you do, which one to use, your dentist will be the best person to evaluate. So that's one. Then couple of myths I would like to bust. There is one very common myth that is floating around, that if you get your wisdom teeth removed, or if you have to remove your wisdom teeth, then there will be some effect of it on the mental capabilities. A lot of people tell me, whenever we suggest that they need to get the wisdom tooth removed, they say that it affects the brain. We've heard that it affects the brain, and it will affect our mental capabilities. So this is absolutely nothing can be further from the truth. So wisdom teeth are called wisdom teeth because they erupt at the age of about 17 to 21, or maybe sometimes even 25. That is the age at which the wisdom teeth erupt in the mouth. They are the last to erupt, and that is the age when people become adults and people start developing wisdom, and that's why they are called wisdom teeth. They have got absolutely nothing to do with your actual wisdom. Okay, so in fact, if they are there in the mouth, they cause more harm than good many times, because they are too they cannot be accommodated in the jaw. See why these wisdom teeth are there. When man was evolving, the jaws were larger in size, and so many molars were required for chewing, because the food habits were different in those days. As man evolved and as the food habits changed, the jaw sizes became smaller and smaller, and therefore these wisdom teeth became no longer needed to chew. And but they are still there, and they do not have enough space in the jaw to come out, and therefore they come out in they are tilted, or they come out from the cheek side, or they are in sleeping position, and many times there are gaps between the wisdom tooth and the adjacent tooth, and you are not able to clean in between that gap, and because of that food gets lodged, and the adjacent tooth, which is used for chewing, which is actually useful to you, will start to get decayed. And most of the times we are not able to clean the wisdom teeth effectively, because they are right at the back, and therefore usually they get decayed. Many times they do not come out of the jaw completely. They are still half in the jaw, and they give a lot of pain and earache. They get infected, and they give you headaches, earaches, and a lot of problems. So if such a thing happens, please go ahead and get the wisdom teeth removed. They are of no use to you. Do not try to hold on and retain to that so-called wisdom. And there is wisdom in removing the wisdom teeth and not keeping them. So that's one myth that I wanted to hi Pratiksha, so good to see you here. So that's one myth I wanted to bust. The other one is that Rasika, please let me know if I'm overshooting my time. I do not want the next speaker to get delayed. So yeah, so the other myth is that orthodontics or braces are to be done only for children and not for adults. So this is again absolutely untrue. Braces can be done at any age after a thorough evaluation by the orthodontist. So thank you Mr. Kantak for coming and watching. Hi. So yeah, so orthodontic treatment can be done at any age, and it is always better to start early, because many times what happens is we can use the growth of the jaw to our advantage. When the jaw is growing, when the child is small and the jaw is growing, many times we can use it to our advantage and avoid extracting the teeth later in order to align the teeth with orthodontic treatment. So that is the reason we recommend you should get it done as early as possible. But if you have not done it, and if you feel the need to do it at a later age, you must go ahead and do it. There is no harm and there is no problem with doing orthodontic treatment at a later age. So we have advanced orthodontic braces now, invisible braces, which I will come to in a while if I have the time. Rasika, how much time do I have? I cannot see from here, so I will quickly take up only the important questions. If you can tell me, would be good. How much time is it? Okay, so I'm told 7 minutes. Okay, now again, the other myth is orthodontic treatment has to be done for beauty or for beautification of your face, or in order to get a beautiful smile. So that is the reason orthodontic treatment is done. This is also a myth. Yes, definitely orthodontic treatment is done, or teeth are aligned so that you can look good, you can flash that beautiful smile. Yes, definitely. But the other main reason for doing orthodontic treatment is to align your teeth in such a way that they bite properly with the upper and the lower teeth. They are able to bite properly, and also if you have crooked teeth, there'll be a lot of food lodgement. You will not be able to clean the in between surfaces of the teeth, even if you are meticulous with your oral hygiene. Many times the teeth are so crooked that even the dentist is not able to remove the plaque efficiently with the machine that he has. So it is always, in order to be able to clean the teeth effectively, it is always good to have the teeth in a straight line, so that you are able to, so the food doesn't get lodged in between, and whatever gets lodged you can easily clean. Otherwise you end up having a lot of problems later. So since we have the time, I will run a very quick video to show you why orthodontic treatment is required. It's a very short video, so you will understand better. Yeah, so as you can see, the lower teeth here are crooked, and if these teeth are not corrected, then by the time the patient grows older and older, he will develop, because of the food lodgement and everything, he will develop this kind of gum disease, and the teeth will become loose and mobile. Okay, so these are the common orthodontic problems: spacing, overbite, edge to edge bite. All these things you can see, self-explanatory. So orthodontic treatment is required in order to correct these common types of problems. And the teeth, if they are not aligned, and if the bite is not proper, what happens is, because of the excessive stresses, there tend to be some chipping at the tips, or some abrasion at the notches, or some notch like abrasions near the gum line. Also the jaw joint tends to get affected, and the patient can have headaches, earaches, and even backaches. And of course, because of the food lodgement, there can be gum problems, gum issues, and because of the the excessive stresses, there can be gum problems, and the patient may have mobile teeth, or even lose the teeth and have chipped off teeth. So orthodontic treatment is definitely recommended, and there are a lot of options nowadays. You also have clear braces or invisible braces. See, you can see here how there is a gum problem because of crooked teeth in this patient in the video. So nowadays we have a lot of options. There are different types of braces that are available. The regular braces, the metallic braces that you must have seen. We also have lingual braces. The braces are done inside the in the inner side of the teeth, not on the outer side of the teeth, so that they may not be seen. You also have invisible braces or clear aligners, or clear braces. Okay, nowadays, so which are also very good, and in many cases they are very effective. Of course, which kind of braces is suitable for you will be evaluated by your orthodontist or your dentist, and all kinds of braces are not suitable for everyone, so for every case. So after a thorough evaluation, your dentist will know which type of braces to recommend for you. So that's about orthodontics. And yeah, there was one question which I was getting constantly: can implants be placed in senior citizens who are above 75-80 years of age? Yeah, so definitely implants can be placed, and in fact it is these people who actually are in need of implants and in need of replacement of teeth, so that they are able to chew properly, and they are able to eat the right kind of food in order to develop immunity and maintain good health at that age. But yes, a thorough medical evaluation is a must. Only after a thorough medical evaluation will your dentist decide whether he or she can proceed with implants in such a patient. There has to be enough availability of the bone in the mouth, and medically the patient has to be completely fit. If that is the case, then definitely there is no harm in going for implants, even if the patient is very senior in age. Am I overshooting the time? Can the admins tell me? Okay, apparently I have 1 minute more, so I will quickly cover this. I'm getting a lot of questions on bad breath, how to avoid bad breath and what to do for bad breath. Thank you, sir. So good to see you here, and I'm really honored to have you here. We have a very senior periodontist or gum specialist with us, Dr. Kumaraswamy, very renowned, and so nice to have you here, sir. Thanks a lot. So bad breath is again, there could be many causes, but the most common cause is poor oral hygiene. So like I have said in my previous sessions, you have to maintain good oral hygiene, brush twice a day with the right kind of brush and the right technique to brush, which also I have explained. You have to rinse your mouth after every meal. Flossing is non-negotiable. You have to floss your teeth every day. And do not, if you have gaps in between the teeth, see, you may be having some old fillings which are overhanging or which are leaking. You may be having some old crowns, some bridges, maybe some implants, and in the in-between surfaces you may not be able to clean effectively if there are gaps especially. So you can use these kind of brushes. This is called as an interdental brush or a Proxa brush, and these are available with the chemist. So you can use these to clean the in-between gaps and maintain good oral hygiene. A lot of people ask about breath sprays, whether they should use them. So as a quick fix, if you have a social event or a party and as a quick fix you want to use it, once in a way, it is okay, but on a regular basis that is not the substitute for for oral hygiene. So you can because it contains a lot of alcohol and can dry your mouth, and so I don't recommend that. You must go to your dentist once in 6 months and get a thorough professional cleaning done. Very important. If you have excessive accumulation of plaque which hardens to form tartar, all this I have also explained in the previous sessions. So that professional cleaning once in 6 months. Some people may require once in a year if they are lucky, but usually we recommend once in 6 months. Some patients may require even more frequently than that, but you have to get that done because that is a major cause of bad breath. If you don't do that, that can cause gum disease, and most of the times the symptoms of gum disease are evident only when it is too late. So patients have bad breath, they don't realize it, they don't visit the dentist because they feel they don't have any issue, and and then that leads to gum disease. So if you have bad breath, then you get yourself evaluated for gum disease, okay? And you must also get your, if there are any decays in the mouth, if there are any cavities, you need to get yourself, especially in between the teeth. You may not realize because there is no pain, so you may not realize that you have cavities. So if such a thing is there, you must get yourself evaluated by the dentist and get them filled as early as possible. You can change old caps if they are leaky, you can change old fillings if they are leaky, and there is food accumulation and there is decay under that. You can get all that fixed. So the first thing you need to do for bad breath is get yourself evaluated. Despite maintaining good oral hygiene, if you still have bad breath, please get yourself evaluated by your dentist, get your dental issues fixed. And despite that, if you still have bad breath, then it could be due to some medication, it could be because of dry mouth. A lot of people smoke and drink, so in such patients the mouth tends to become dry, and if the mouth is dry, if there is less flow of saliva in the mouth, then there is no cleansing action, and it helps to retain the odor producing bacteria in the mouth, and you will have bad breath. So anything that gives rise to dry mouth, like some medication or smoking, drinking, that can also lead to bad breath. So that is something you must avoid. And what else can I think of in such a short while? Yeah, these are the common causes, and if all the dental causes are eliminated or ruled out or fixed, and yet you have bad breath, then you must seek medical help. It could be due to some other systemic disease. So but first thing is you need to evaluate and rule out dental causes of bad breath. So this is in very short. I hope I have a long list of questions, but like I said in the beginning, I may not be able to answer all of them in this short session, and so I will personally respond to those people who ask me queries whenever. There might be some delay, but whenever I have time, I will definitely do that. And thanks for being such a great audience, and thank you, Dr. Kumaraswamy, for being there and being my inspiration, being my mentor, and always guiding us. And thank you, Yadav sir, for being here. So he's the corporator of Jogeshwari, and it's an honor to have him here. So with this, I end my session because I think I've overshot my time. And thanks again, thanks a lot once again, Team VPWN and Team Vilepale Club. And all the best to all the speakers who are going to come. And it was an honor participating in this event, Arogyam, and spreading awareness on oral health among the community. So thanks a lot, and bye for now.